It started with the cologne. That stupid, fancy cologne he'd never buy for himself. One whiff when he came home from working late, and my stomach dropped. Since when did Jason care about smelling like a pine forest with hints of bergamot? Since never. That's when the little voice in my head woke up after years of silence. At first, I brushed it off. Maybe a coworker gave him a sample. Maybe he was just trying something new. But then came the other changes. Tiny things nobody else would notice. How he'd started putting his phone in his back pocket instead of his jacket. The way he'd suddenly remember urgent emails at 9 p.m. That new habit of showering the second he walked through the door like he was washing away evidence. The night I found the receipt, I almost laughed at how cliché it was. There it was in his gym bag, a $217 charge from the melting pot, our anniversary spot, the place I'd begged to go for months while he claimed it was too cheesy. Dated February 14th, Valentine's Day, the same night he'd come home with food poisoning from bad sushi. I stood there holding that slip of paper, remembering how I'd spent that night holding his hair back while he fake gagged over the toilet. How his breath had smelled suspiciously, like garlic bread and Merlot. That's when I started my cheat sheet. Just a note in my phone at first. New cologne, Feb 3. Late work nights, 3x this week. Melting pot receipt, Feb 14. But within weeks, it grew into something more. I began noticing patterns. Every Thursday he'd stop at an ATM on his way home, always withdrawing exactly $200. Every other weekend, he'd suddenly remember his mom needed help with errands, returning hours later smelling like hotel soap instead of his parents' musty basement. The strangest part? How he'd started accusing me of being distant. "You're not yourself lately," he'd say, stroking my hair like he was concerned. Classic projection, though I didn't know that term yet. All I knew was that the man who used to leave love notes in my lunchbox now looked at me like I was a problem to solve. That cheat sheet became my Bible, because deep down I already knew the truth. Cheaters don't just betray your heart, they make you doubt your own mind. The receipts didn't lie, even when he did. It was the duplicate charges that first caught my eye. Our shared credit card showed 2 dinners at Mario's, one on March 12th when I was visiting my sister, and another on March 18th with me. Same restaurant, same order, chicken parm, extra marinara, 2 different dates. My hands shook holding my phone in the grocery store checkout line. That's when I became a forensic accountant of our relationship. I discovered 1. The $200 pattern. Every Thursday for 3 months, Jason withdrew exactly $200 from the ATM near his office. Never $109 or $201. Always crisp bills that left no digital trail. I mapped the dates. They aligned perfectly with late work meetings and guys' poker nights. 2. The vanilla gift cards. Our Amazon account showed 12 $50 vanilla Visa purchases in 2 months. For client gifts, he'd said when I asked. But our trash can revealed the empty cards, all scratched off, all used. 3. The hotel hack his Lyft receipts told the real story. Every business trip ended at the same boutique hotel downtown. The kicker? He'd take the train home to avoid dropping a pin near her place. The most damning evidence came from an unexpected place, our shared Uber Eats account. His orders for Just Me Babe included 2 iced coffees, he only drank hot, a turkey sandwich, he was vegetarian, strawberry cheesecake, he's allergic. I screenshot everything, my fingers numb. Part of me hoped I was crazy, but the evidence kept growing like mold behind our bathroom tiles, invisible until you knew where to look. Then came the smoking gun. While grabbing his hoodie for laundry, a slip of paper fluttered out. A jewelry store receipt for $1,890. The description, 14K gold pendant, heart-shaped. My birthday had come and gone with no gift. When I confronted him, his face did that terrifying transformation. Panic to pity in 0.2 seconds. "Oh, sweetheart," he sighed, pulling me into a hug. That was for my mom's anniversary. I didn't want to ruin your surprise. His hands rubbed my back as my phone buzzed with a notification. The jewelry store's confirmation email for the engraving. To E, my true north. I smiled and said I understood. Because now I had a new hobby. Collecting receipts instead of memories. And this paper trail led somewhere far more interesting than his mother's jewelry box. His hands betrayed him first. I started noticing how Jason's fingers would twitch when he lied. 3 rapid taps on his knee when he said, "Of course I'm not texting her." A subconscious swipe under his nose when claiming he'd been at the gym. The way he'd scratch his left eyebrow, always the left, when fabricating stories about work dinners. The change in his phone habits was almost comical. The man who used to leave his device charging on the kitchen counter now slept with it under his pillow, took it into the shower in a Ziploc bag like some pathetic lifeline, developed a sudden allergy when I reached for it, jerking away like I'd burned him. But the kiss. Oh, the kiss told me everything. After 7 years together, I knew the rhythm of his lips better than my own heartbeat. That's why I noticed when his usual warm pressure became performative, like he was rehearsing for an audience. He'd started adding this weird new move, a quick peck, followed by 2 slower ones. I clocked the pattern immediately. Then came the night I tested my theory. I waited until he was distracted by the game, then leaned in suddenly. His body stiffened for half a second before complying. But the damage was done. That micro-recoil screamed what his words denied. I was no longer the woman he wanted to kiss. The showering was the dead giveaway. Suddenly, my husband, who used to skip showers for days, was scrubbing himself raw after work. One Tuesday, I accidentally walked in as he stepped out. His skin was lobster red from scalding water, steam rolling off him like he was trying to melt away evidence. That's when I saw it. 4 parallel scratches down his back, still pink and angry. "Kitty got you good," I joked, my voice steady as a surgeon's hand. He froze. "What?" "Oh, yeah, must have scratched myself at the gym." The lie hung between us like a grenade with the pin pulled. Our cat had died 6 months earlier. That night, I started a new list in my phone. The body never lies. By morning, it had 17 entries. The most damning? How he'd stopped looking me in the eye when saying, "I love you." Always focusing just left of my ear, like his conscience lived there. Our shared Netflix account told the first digital truth. Every Thursday at 1:15 p.m. sharp, someone watched episodes of The Office, Jason's favorite show, during hours he claimed to be in back-to-back meetings. The kicker? The viewing location was an IP address in the next town over, not his office's Wi-Fi. That discovery sent me down a rabbit hole of perfectly legal digital breadcrumbs. 1. Google Maps. Timeline. His quick grocery runs showed 90-minute stops at an apartment complex. The same complex where his college buddy Eric supposedly lived. Except Eric had moved to Denver 2 years prior. The timeline even captured his route home, detouring past a gas station to buy breath mints every time. 2. Shared calendar glitches. Our synced family calendar had mysterious, private event blocks every other Friday afternoon. 1 week I tested it, scheduling a fake doctor's appointment during his private slot. He never mentioned it, but that evening his phone buzzed with a text. "Why'd you cancel today?" The area code matched his new client. 3. Uber's betrayal. His ride history revealed the real destinations behind his late nights. February 14th, the Melting Pot to Silver Springs Apartments. March 30, office to Hilton Garden Inn, 3-hour stay. April 18th, Eric's place, straight to a CVS, receipt showed pregnancy test. The smoking gun came from our shared Amazon account. Under digital services, I found a second Prime Video profile named J.E. The watch history was a romantic comedy marathon. Every movie Jason had refused to watch with me, claiming he hated the genre. But the real digital confession appeared in our photo cloud. Jason had forgotten we shared iCloud storage, buried in recently deleted. Screenshots of my texts with mocking captions. She's so clueless. A reservation for 2 at a beachside BB, dated our anniversary weekend. The most damning, a photo of our bed, taken while I was at work. The sheets were rumpled, my pillow on the floor, and a blonde hair coiled on his shoulder. I didn't confront him yet, because the final proof wasn't in our digital crumbs. It was waiting in our living room, hidden in plain sight, and it involved the one household object he never touched. The vacuum cleaner betrayed him. That dusty Dyson in our closet he never touched, until suddenly he was emptying it twice a week. When I checked the canister, it reeked of hotel-brand lavender detergent. That's when I set my trap. I waited until his business trip weekend. As soon as he left, I, 1, screenshotted his Google Maps location, Hilton Garden Inn. 2, checked our Nest Cam, showed him packing his gym bag, the one that always came back suspiciously empty. 3, placed a voice-activated recorder in the vacuum's charging dock. What came back wasn't just dirt. The recorder captured 2 voices laughing about almost getting caught last time, the clink of wine glasses, and the worst sound of all, my favorite pillow hitting the floor. When Jason returned Sunday night, I didn't scream. I simply played the audio while serving his favorite lasagna. His fork froze mid-bite as his own voice filled the kitchen. Relax, she never checks this thing. The color drained from his face. That's not what it sounds like. Then explain the vacuum receipts, I said, sliding printouts across the table. Every Thursday, same hotel, same $200 charge. His reaction followed the cheater's playbook exactly. 1, denial. Those are work expenses. 2, deflection. You've been spying on me? 3, Darvo. This is why I needed space. Then came the twist I never expected. His phone buzzed on the table, a text from E lighting up the screen. Did you tell her about the baby yet? The silence that followed was the most honest moment of our marriage. His mouth opened and closed like a fish. All his carefully constructed lies collapsed under that one unscripted question. I didn't need to say another word. The truth was, finally sitting at our kitchen table, shaking under its own weight. When he started crying, I realized they weren't remorseful tears. They were for getting caught. I used to wonder what would hurt more, discovering the betrayal or the years of deception. Turns out, it's neither. The real pain comes when you realize the person you loved never actually existed. But here's the secret. No cheater wants you to know. That realization? It's also the first day of your freedom.